Hi friends, welcome to another Reddit Rev episode. Please subscribe and hit that like button if you're enjoying the content, and please share it with your friends if you can. I'd really appreciate it. Also, please leave me a comment to let me know what you think of the episode. Now let's get started with today's stories.
Wife cheated with her ex. About a year ago, I, a 33-year-old male, found that my wife, a 28-year-old female, of 3 years had been taking birth control pills while we were trying to conceive. She was pretending that she wanted to get pregnant and even took pregnancy tests, all with the intention of misleading me. This news left me crushed, so much so that I needed some time for myself in order to think about our relationship. Despite everything though, I still loved her deeply and decided she deserved another chance. Because of the grueling nature of her work, she had started her own company. She initially felt unequipped to raise a child. Consequently, she chose not to tell me out of concern for hurting my feelings. Despite feeling deeply hurt and vulnerable, I decided that moving in with her was the best option. But then only days later, I overheard a phone call between her and an ex-lover where they discussed entering into an affair. She adamantly told him to never bring up their past and that it was a mistake. They only interacted for professional reasons since she had started her own business and he had business contacts that could help her, yet he still kept pursuing her romantically despite my disapproval of them being in the same environment. I had made numerous attempts to make sure that she knew how I felt about this setup between them. When I had learned of her infidelity, my entire world shattered. It was inconceivable to me that she had engaged in such behavior while I worked diligently to forgive her for lying. After confronting her and demanding answers, all that was left with her were tears and a bald-faced lie. The claim that it only happened once and no other form of intercourse occurred besides oral sex. Despite her words, doubt remains within me due to this deceitful act. After finally deciding to move on from her, I submitted my divorce papers with a heavy heart. It was then that she told me the shocking news. She had become pregnant. Even though she claimed it was mine, given our history, I felt unable to trust her words and asked for a paternity test instead when she reached 8 weeks into the pregnancy. Thankfully, the results confirmed my suspicions. After all this time apart, we were still connected by this life-defining moment. It really was mine. My attorney suggested that I suspend the divorce proceedings until my spouse delivered our baby. Afterwards, I moved back in out of compassion to aid her with the newborn's care. Furthermore, she persuaded me to go to couples therapy, and I gave her one more opportunity. This time, I insisted on honesty in that she cease any connection with her ex. Our son is now 7 months old, therefore she didn't put a passcode on her phone and shared her location continuously to demonstrate that she was striving hard to earn my trust again. I can never fully trust her, and it's driven me to continuously be suspicious of everything she tells me. Checking her phone records and location has become a regular thing for me. The worst part is when other men are around, jealousy kicks in without fail. Only last week she had gone on a work trip, but unbeknownst to me, her old college boyfriend was throwing a party with her ex-partner present, which I only found out through one of their friends' Instagram story posts. I had a heated exchange with her after I found out that he was there. She claimed she didn't tell me because she knew it would make me jealous, but something still didn't feel right to me. Like maybe they did something behind my back and now she's lying about it. It feels like every time I let my guard down and trust her again, she takes advantage of a situation to hurt me in some way. Could you please provide some advice on how to fully restore trust to my wife? Update. I'd like to offer my magnificent gratitude to all those who gave me valuable advice, and also for the private chats of each of you who reached out. My wife is completely independent when it comes to money. She doesn't depend on me in any way. As far as parenting goes, I relish spending time with our son, not just supervising him, but developing an actual bond between us both. After numerous talks with my wife, she eventually confessed to more than just oral sex that had occurred the night before. They had been engaging in intercourse throughout the entire evening. It was painful to hear this detail, but I felt that it was necessary for me to fully comprehend what happened during their time together. My wife confessed that she was captivated by her ex when she saw him, and that's what led to her affair, but she immediately regretted it and was sorry it occurred. Although I could tell there are more details to be unearthed from this story, it seemed as though my wife wanted me to believe her innocence. To uncover what truly occurred, I spoke with the man my wife was having an affair with. He confirmed they'd only partaken in one night together, after which time my beloved had ceased communication with him. Just a few weeks later, she phoned him in tears and said she was pregnant. He could be the father, as we were separated at that time. I had even served her with divorce papers. She requested her ex to take a paternity test, asserting that if it was his baby, then she'd have an abortion. When they came across each other again at a party, he asked for clarity, but all she did was say hello before abruptly leaving the soiree. At this juncture, I was ready to end our marriage, but before that, I had imposed a timeline on her. Let me know the truth in time, or else. Fortunately for us both, she opened up to me of her own accord before the deadline, and no, she wasn't still communicating with her ex because all along I had kept a hold of her phone. We then argued bitterly, and during the argument, I told her she could leave if she wanted. Moreover, I made it clear that under no circumstances I would try to stop and detain her. Her response included an admission about how much she loves me regardless of having committed a grave mistake. She additionally did not want to damage my feelings further, which is why she initially chose to hide what actually happened from me. But whatever wrongdoing had been done, she now wants to make things work between us again. On the romantic day of Valentine's, I astounded her with a surprise polygraph test. Pretending to take her out for lunch, I said that I spoke to her ex and knew more than she did. My ploy was simply an excuse, so this could be her last chance to tell me everything that happened between them. She consented to take the lie detector test, confirming all my misgivings about her unfaithfulness, and also addressed some other misgivings I had. We experienced quite a few heated debates over the past few days after the lie detector test, resulting in her having fainting spells, fever, loss of appetite, and incessant crying, yet she appears to be genuinely apologetic. Although I know there will be those who think me foolish, my heart is undeniably drawn to my wife. As such, I've decided that a trial period of the next few weeks should be decided to seeing if our marriage can still thrive. I communicated clearly what it would take for me to forgive her, and she has been doing all in her power to make amends, so far proving to herself deserving of another chance at love between us both.
I hope you enjoyed our video. It's always a pleasure creating these stories, and if you liked what you saw, please take the time to show your support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you haven't already done so. Sharing with your friends is also greatly appreciated. Let me know in the comments section below what you think of our videos. I'm all ears. Be sure to check back soon for more original Reddit stories every day on Reddit Rev. Until then, stay awesome, my friend.